Welcome back. What's going on, guys? Welcome to 24/7 Barca. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. I never left. I'm so sorry. I didn't have a video out for a couple of weeks. You know, life happens. I am an entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, I'm a serious killer and I'm a serious Barca fan. So here we are. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. A lot of things have happened since the last video came out. Yep. We lost the unbeaten run in 2025. We lost 3-1 to Dortmund away in the second leg of the quarterfinals, but we're in the semifinals. So applaud. Tap yourself on the back for that because you know how hard it's been being a Barca fan, especially for the last 6-7 years since Messi left. This was the first time we actually made it to the Champions League semifinals. So congrats to us for that. But it wasn't in the fashion that we wanted it. We did not win. And also, let me tell you something else, bro. Those white shorts, get rid of them, bro. Burn them shits, bro. They look absolutely atrocious, bro. Whose idea was it to actually pair those white shorts with the home shirt? Bro, that shit looks disgusting. I'm telling you, bro, that shit is cursed. We played 2 games with those ugly ass shorts, and we lost both those games. We can never ever wear those white shorts, dog. We gotta cancel him, bro. Get rid of that shit, bro. Burn him, bro. If I was Flick, I would just go to the kit manager and be like, yo, let me get a fucking candle. Actually, no. Let me get a match. Let me get a lighter. I'm going to burn this shit down, bro. We are never, ever wearing those shorts. I listen, unacceptable. We cannot wear those shorts. Thankfully, we scored 4 goals in the first leg, which actually saved us, and we scored an away goal. Not that it matters, but it adds to the aggregate goals. So we ended up going through. What was the score? Like 5-3? Yeah. Hey, yo. And not to mention, I was getting some horrendous flashbacks. If you know, you know. If you've been a Barca fan for like the last 10, 15 years, you know I'm talking about that loss against Roma, that loss against Liverpool, and that loss against PSG last year. But you know what? This Barcelona team, this team's different. This is Hansi Flick's Barcelona, baby. And we're here to stay. We're here to change the game, bro. We're here to switch it up, bro. There's more news. PSG also lost to Aston Villa, right? They lost away 3-2. They also ended up going through to the semifinals on aggregate scores because they scored, I think, 3 or 4 goals in the first half. Arsenal beats Real Madrid in both the legs. I guess 90 minutes is a long time at the Bernabeu, but not for us, for Real Madrid. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about another team. I don't really care what happens to Real Madrid. All I care about is Barcelona. You have Arsenal, PSG, Inter, and Barcelona in the semifinals. Last 4. And I'm not even kidding. This might be one of the greatest UCL campaigns of all time. Because at this point, the way it's set up, the kind of form everybody's in, right? It's anybody's Champions League. Anybody can win. There's no favorites anymore. There's absolutely no favorites anymore. And we are going to face Inter, and that's going to be an amazing matchup. It's going to be an amazing matchup for football lovers because anybody can win. Both teams can beat each other. Okay. Now, when Barcelona lost, I was panicking. I was like, "Oh man, we lost on unbeaten run. There it goes." Because I gotta say, listen, that game was really horrible to watch. We were missing passes. We didn't have possession right. We were missing key players. Balde was out injured. Jared Martin was getting skinned alive. Um, Pedri did not start for obvious reasons. A lot of games, fatigue. Gavi started. The front three were nowhere to be seen. We were missing passes. Our touch was horrible. We had no control of the game. And that just tells you how important Pedri is for us. In my opinion, he's actually the most important Barcelona player that we have. And we saw what happens when Pedri doesn't play. Okay? Um, I was really mad, not because of the way we lost, but the way we played. I didn't really care about the result because if there was any game that you could lose, it was that game. Because if you lose that game, right, and then you end up going through, it just has no consequences. Because if we lose a game in La Liga, we drop points, right? We go back to second or third, right? You lose the Copa del Rey final, you lose the final, you don't get the trophy. So this was the only game that I think that if we lost, nothing would matter, and that's why Flick rotated the squad. And even though in the beginning I was very, very frustrated with the way we played, I got to give my credit to him. I have to tell you guys a couple of things. Credit to Barca Media for bringing this up. I watch your videos, bro. Good content, very pinpoint, very accurate. Um, let's go back a couple of years. Let's go back all the way to 2015 when we actually won the Champions League, right? Did we lose before getting to the finals and semifinals? Yes, we actually lost away 3-2 to Bayern, and guess what happened? We still ended up winning the Champions League, right? What happened when Argentina faced Saudi Arabia in the first match of the World Cup? They lost, right? They lost an unbeaten run, and guess what happened? Nothing. That did nothing to them, but actually, make them more hungrier to go ahead and win, to give their best. And I think that if you're going to be a really, really great team, you have to go. You're going to suffer, bro. You are not going to have an easy path to glory. No pain, no gain. You're going to suffer. You're going to have to suffer. And I think this was necessary for us because I think we were in kind of a cloud nine. We were unbeaten, and players kind of like underestimated Dortmund, which you never do, especially playing in front of the yellow wall away. I know we won there, which was also a tight game, but you never do that. I think we had this kind of like cloud nine vibe. They were like, you know what, we're the best team in the world. We didn't have a bad game in a while. Everybody was praising us. You had odds like taking us all the way to the final and winning it. So I think that was necessary for us. Sometimes you need that fire, and the best players, the best teams, they get tested and they pass those tests. You can only be great if you can go through these obstacles, and I think that's what we're on track for, and I really hope that's the outcome that we have. We've got a packed schedule, bro. We've got 7 games to win La Liga, 1 game to win the Copa del Rey, and 3 games to win the UCL. And it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. I want you to calm down. I'm a lot calm now because I was thinking about those things, right? I don't want you guys to panic. This team, we're gonna get tested, and this isn't the first time we're getting tested this season. When the season started, we got tested with injuries, right? We had a bunch of games. We know La Liga has a propaganda against us. We know that, okay? We know that. That's not new, okay? And Tebas publicly came out and said he loves Madrid, so that should tell you a lot, okay? We are actually going to play Madrid twice and Inter Milan twice in a span of 15 days. And guess what? Do I think we can do it? I think we can. We've done it before. We have a talented bunch of players, and we have the greatest manager in the world this year, the most tactically advanced Hansi Flick. So, from me to you, to all the Barca fans, calm down, hold everything steady. I know we got this, okay?